all about student loans. This is fun stuff, guys. So just pay attention. There's going to be a lot in this. I have tried to make it as simple as possible for everybody. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is ways to cover out-of-pocket costs, federal subsidized and unsubsidized student loans, accepting student loans, which is the student's responsibility, Parent Plus loans, and private student loans. A little bit of everything. And so, ways to cover your out-of-pocket costs. Most of you who are joining today do have out-of-pocket costs. Actually, probably about 99% of our students have some type of out-of-pocket cost for their yearly tuition here at Wittenberg. We offer a per semester payment plan using Nelnet. There will be more information on this usually in May. It's sent out to all the families. Our student accounts department is the one that handles all of our payment plans. I can answer basic questions about the payment plan just because I'm a parent and I am in a payment plan already. But if you need more detailed information about payment plan, my suggestion would be to contact our student account office. You can email them at studentaccounts@wittenberg.edu. And I will put that in the chat when we are finished. Hopefully Sarah can remind me. There is an enrollment fee. This is a per semester payment plan. So each semester we bill twice a year, July and December, and each semester is split into 5 equal monthly payments. The enrollment periods are in June for payments going July through November, basically, and then for fall semester, and November for payments going December through April. And there is no shared doc. Is everybody seeing the PowerPoint? Okay, so if everybody is seeing the PowerPoint, I'm going to continue. I'm going to go ahead and stop my video again, just so you can focus on the PowerPoint. Okay, so you can also make full payments at the beginning of the semester from your cash checking or savings account, or even a 529 plan. There are federal subsidized and unsubsidized loan, which all of your students have been offered this loan if they have filed FAFSA. You must file FAFSA in order to be offered any kind of subsidized or unsubsidized student loan. These are your students' responsibility. They are in their name, not your name. So it's a pretty decent loan program. It's been around for years and years and years and years. And currently there are no payments on these loans thanks to COVID still. That's going to continue now through August. We're going to talk private student loans. So these are outside loan sources where you are going to an outside company, so not running through the Department of Education on the student loans. And then Parent Plus loans. There are Parent Plus loans through the federal government, which is the Department of Education, or there are many private loan opportunities for Parent Plus loans. There's a few banks that I know of that offer those, and we'll go further into detail when it comes to that. Okay, what are federal student loans? Federal student loans are offered by the U.S. Department of Education. Students must file a FAFSA to qualify for these federal direct student loans. There are no cosigners that are needed for these student loans. They are a low fixed interest rate. Currently, they're at 2.75. However, this will change July 1st of 2022. It will change again July 1st of 2023. But they are locked into the rate at that point in time. Flexible repayment plans are based on income. The payments are deferred until 6 months after graduation, or if the student withdraws or goes below part-time, which is under 6 hours. At that point in time, they go out of deferment and they will be contacted by their loan servicer to start making payments. While they are in deferment, they can make payments on the loan at any time. They can pay off loans early. There are no fees or penalties if a student wants to do this. There are two types of federal student loans. This part gets a little confusing for parents. So there's a subsidized and unsubsidized student loan. The subsidized student loan basically holds no interest. There is no interest on this loan until your student graduates. It's the loan that most people want. Usually it maxes out as a freshman at $3,500. As a sophomore, the subsidized loan goes up to $4,500, and then as a junior and senior, it can go up to $5,500. One thing about this loan is it is based off of need. So if you do not show need as part of FAFSA, meaning you don't have a low estimated family contribution, you will not more than likely be offered the subsidized loan. Then there is the unsubsidized loan. This loan starts accruing interest when it is. We do not disperse our student loans for our students until about the week before they're about ready to start classes. So even though they may accept them in May or even April, they're not actually put on their account until about a week before classes. Loan amounts start for freshmen at $5,500, and they will go up as the student increases grade. So sophomore year, it's going to be $6,500, and then it's going to max out at $7,500 as a junior and as a senior. Federal subsidized student loans are offered to undergraduate students who have financial need as determined by FAFSA. Amounts can vary per student depending on need, which is basically what I just said. The lower the expected family contribution is on FAFSA, the higher the possibility of getting a subsidized student loan. Again, no interest accrues on these subsidized loans while they are in school or during authorized deferment periods. So currently right now, I believe all loans have been at a 0 interest rate. Even the unsubsidized student loans are at a 0 interest rate right now due to COVID. I don't know how much longer that's going to go on, but it has been happening now for a good year and a half. And then again, interest will begin 6 months after graduating on the subsidized student loan. The unsub loan, again, I'm just repeating myself because these are confusing loans for families. Unsubsidized loan is not based on federal need, but the FAFSA still does need to be filed in order to receive this loan. Interest begins to accrue when the loan is dispersed. However, currently right now, again, there is no interest on these loans just because of the COVID pandemic. I have a feeling that's going to change pretty soon, but for right now, that's the way it is. And amounts can vary from student to student when it comes to the unsubsidized loan. If you do show need on FAFSA, your unsubsidized loan is going to be pretty low at probably $2,000. If you, excuse me, do not show need on FAFSA, high EFC is what I mean by that, your unsubsidized loan is going to look like $5,500. Let's see. We're going to answer some questions as we are going. However, the CCP question from Tammy. Okay, so if your student is bringing in CCP hours, yes, their loans can be increased starting out up to sophomore level at $6,500. However, that increase probably will not happen until September or October. And that is because it takes a while for our registrar's office to get all of those credits in on these students. So if your student is coming in with, we're getting up to sophomore status, which actually they would need to be at 32 credits or more coming in. to get up to sophomore status, the loan will be increased, but your student will probably have to check in with me, or you as a parent could check in with me maybe mid-September to see that those credit hours have been added, and then I can do the increase. So Tammy, I hope that helped answer your question. The first question that was offered by Tammy, we'll get to that at the end. Okay, how do I accept my student loans? Okay, so this is a process that should be done by your student. This process is very important and needs to be done by your student in order for us to apply the student loans to their account. Yes, they were offered student loans, but until they are formally accepted, we cannot do anything with them. And this is a step that's often forgotten. It is a 3-step process. It's 2 steps to formally accept them through the federal government, but then we have a 3rd step that needs to happen, which I'll get into a little bit more detail. So again, before your students' federal loans will apply to their accounts, the loans must be formally accepted. Basically, students need to do 2 processes through the federal government. They need to complete entrance counseling. This is a financial literacy training. Basically, it's a quiz for the students. Usually takes up to about 20 minutes to complete. Not gonna lie, it is a confusing process, but if the students read the little paragraphs and answer the questions, they'll be able to move on to the next question. There is no way to screw it up, but if you don't answer the question right, it won't let you move on. So please keep that in mind. Once that part is done, we get notified within 24 hours that it's done, and then the loan will then originate through the federal government and then disperse when it's time to disperse, which is in August. The next step is students must sign their master promissory note, or their MPN. This is your student's loan agreement. It's basic information that they need, but this is the students agreeing that they will pay back these federal student loans. A lot of times I am the loan processor here in the office. For many, many years, we see one or the other gets done. We see the entrance counseling being done, but no promissory note signed. We see the promissory note being done, but no entrance counseling done. So please make sure both of those things happen. Again, we are notified within 24 hours that they have happened, and we can then complete the loan on our end and disperse the loan in August. Both processes can be found at studentaid.gov. Which is where they would go to start filing FAFSA. This information will be emailed to students mid-May. Once the student gets to studentaid.gov, they're going to sign on with their FSA ID and password. So they're going to sign in with their FSA ID and password. They're going to hover over, there is a menu at the top of the page, hover over complete aid process. At the menu at the top of the page, click on entrance counseling and follow the undergraduate link. They're going to then go back. It used to prompt you to sign the master promissory note, but I really don't know if it's done that. This site and this process has kind of changed over the past couple years. So the easiest way to do it is basically go back to that top menu page, complete aid process, and then complete master promissory note, again, following the undergraduate link, because there will be links for graduate students and there will be links for parents on this master promissory note page. So they want undergrad link. Again, I'm going to be notified in 24 hours that it gets done. And if I find that any of the processes are missing, for instance, if I get on a student that they completed their entrance counseling but did not sign the master promissory note, I will notify the student's email primarily to their WIT email address, and I'll sometimes copy parents in on those emails if it is the 3rd or 4th email I send to students, which is not uncommon. Students aren't great at checking their emails, so talk to them about checking their email on a regular basis. that is not about student loans. That's just about everything that comes with Wittenberg. Okay, so final step for students on accepting student loans. So they've completed the 2 major processes through studentaid.gov. The last process we have is actually a Wittenberg process. Once students have completed both entrance and master promissory notes, they will log into their WIT self-service portal, and many of you may not know what that is yet, and that is okay. You will be getting information on the WIT self-service portal very, very soon if you have not already. This is I've added the website here for how to get to the portal. And they have to tell us they want their loans now. We used to just automatically apply them, but now we have them tell us what to do. Basically, once they get logged into the portal, they will click on financial aid. They will click on review and accept financial aid, and then they will accept or reject their student loan in the student loan section. If you reject the loans, that means they're not going to apply to your account. If you accept the loans, they will apply. You can also adjust the amounts of the student loans down. You cannot go up. For instance, if the student loan is offered a subsidized loan at $3,500, you cannot say you want your subsidized loan to be $4,500. You can say you want your subsidized loan to be $2,000 though. So if you have other means of paying for college and they just need a small portion of their loan, basically you have that option to do that. We are hosting a webinar on self-service on Saturday, May 21st at 10 a.m. So put that on your calendars because that's going to help them navigate our self-service site. Okay, so understanding the Parent Plus loan. This is a loan through the federal government in the parent's name for your student. Any parent of the student may borrow this loan, biological or step parent. The parent who is borrowing the loan will need an FSA ID and password. Again, any parent can create an FSA ID and password. One of you may have one already if you've helped your student file the FAFSA. So if the other one wants to try to apply, have them get an FSA ID and password as well. The loan is only in one parent's name. It is not in multiple, it's not a joint loan account. So if mom is going to apply for the loan is only in mom's name. The amount borrowed can go up to the cost of attendance minus all other financial aid and scholarships. So basically the amount borrowed is going to be what you see as your out-of-pocket cost to the university. If you're not sure how much you need, you can always select, there's a little button you can click on that says maximum amount. This allows the loan to come over and be adjusted as needed. We do include, there is an origination fee on the loan. So you will want to keep that in mind if you're choosing a specific dollar amount. So if your student owes $22,000 for the year, and you take out a $22,000 parent loan, you will owe a little bit more money to Wittenberg if you do not take into consideration adding in that origination fee. Yes, the PowerPoint is available once this is all said and done out on our website, and I believe it could be sent out PDF to everybody as well. April, I see your question. And we're going to get into the fees and all of that good stuff. So just remember, you're going to want to add in that origination fee if you are taking it out for a specific dollar amount. And you can do any dollar amount you want. If you have $10,000 saved up for college and you're prepared to pay $10,000 out of pocket, but they owe 22, you can take out a parent loan for the 12,000. Approval for the Parent Plus loan is based on credit history. Repayment of the loan falls on the parent. This loan will forever be in your name as the parent. It will never transfer into your student's name for them to consolidate or any of that good stuff. Parents can choose to defer payments for up to 6 months post-graduation, or they can begin making payments 30 days after the full loan has dispersed. Most of our parents do choose to defer until after graduation. It does make it a little easier. If you're going to do that, I will suggest that you make a small monthly payment on the loan just to cover your interest, because this loan actually does have interest. It is currently at 5.30%. However, that fee will change on July 1st, 2022. The loan does have an origination fee, and I forgot to put that in there, which I will correct before we do the PDF of this. But the origination fee is at, now I've got to get my notes. I'm so sorry. The origination fee for the Parent Plus loan right now is at 4.228%. And I'm going to see if I can actually, I'm sorry guys, but I want to make sure I correct this now so that I don't forget. 4.228%. Okay, I apologize, guys. Thought I had everything laid out. Okay, so now we are going to go back. Okay, so you'll apply for this loan again at studentaid.gov. When you apply for this loan as the parent, you do want to make sure that you are signing in with your FSA ID and not your student's FSA ID. We do have that happen quite frequently where they use the student's name as the borrower, and it just doesn't work. The loan just airs out, it doesn't go anywhere. So you won't want to do that. I did skip a line at the beginning, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about that now. That's if a parent is denied the Parent Plus loan. We talk to all of our families about the Parent Plus loan strictly because of this particular situation. If a parent is denied the loan, your student will qualify for an additional unsubsidized student loan at $4,000 or $5,000 depending on enrollment status. Honestly, that $5,000 figure is not going to kick in till they are at 64 credits or higher. So as a freshman and sophomore, they're going to receive $4,000. Junior and seniors are going to receive $5,000. We usually do not have parents apply for this loan until May or June. Oh, one more thing on the denial. Really, once you're denied this loan, which you'll find out right away whether you've been denied. Once you're denied, we get notified again within 24 hours that it's happened, and we automatically increase your unsubsidized loan for your student. So keep that in mind. If you don't know whether you get approved or denied, go ahead and apply for the loan and find out. If you happen to get approved and you do not want the loan, do not sign your master promissory note. That's usually what I tell people. The loan just will fall off and not go anywhere. We can't add it to the account unless that promissory note's been signed. So just keep that in mind. Again, don't apply for these loans till probably May or June. This is because the loan will not be dispersed till August, which is right before classes begin, and a credit check still needs to be good. We do now have, I believe, 120 days on a credit check. So if it's outside of that, it gets a little close, and I'd hate for you to have to reapply for that Parent Plus loan if you've been approved already. Okay, so loan limits. All of our students who receive federal direct student loans have loan limits. You're not allowed to have more than what the federal government says you're allowed to have within your 4 to 5 years of college or postgraduate school. So you're going to look, most of you will look at the dependent undergraduate student column. So as a freshman, their max amount is $5,500. As a sophomore, it goes up to $6,500. As a junior, In senior, it is $7,500. That's the max. So the maximum total debt from the federal direct student loans your student is allowed to have is $31,000. They cannot go beyond that. The only way they could go beyond that is if the parent is denied at some point in time for a Parent Plus loan. So the student at that point in time could go up to $57,500. That is basing on 4 to 5 years of college. Now, after that, when they go into grad school, they are allowed up to $138,500 in total student loans. Again, if you get the opportunity, these loans can be paid off or paid back early without any fees or penalties. Most of the time, this screen right here doesn't start hitting parents or students until senior year. And then they're like, oh yeah, we do have a lot of loans. So the Parent Plus loan is not included in that. There is no max on the Parent Plus loan. As long as your credit is good, you will be approved that Parent Plus loan. Okay, interest rates and fees. So again, all of our federal student and parent loans have an origination fee, and the Department of Education collects this fee at time of disbursement. Fee does not come to Wittenberg, it goes straight back to the federal government. Here are your current interest rates through June 30th of 2022. And then also you can see the origination fees, which, I just added on the previous slide. Okay, now's the fun part, talking about private loans. Okay, so a private loan is basically an outside loan through anybody other than the Department of Education, federal government. This loan is in your student's name. Most students do require a credit-worthy cosigner. It is rare to find a private loan out there that does not require a cosigner. There are a few. I have to be honest in telling you that I have not seen any come through here at Wittenberg for students. Interest rates are based on the cosigner's credit rating. You can request up to the cost of tuition, which is basically your total out-of-pocket cost. The student and cosigner are equally responsible for repayment of the loan. The loan payment history will be reflected on the cosigner's credit report. Most loans require no payment while the student is enrolled, but interest will accrue during that time. The best suggestion is to shop around and look at all payment requirements on loans. Another suggestion would be that if your student does have a private student loan and everyone or you guys can make a small monthly payment to cover that interest, that would probably be ideal. There may be an origination fee on the loan added to the principal of the loan. However, not all of them do have an origination fee. This is where it's good to shop around and look at all details of the loans. This loan process takes longer than that Parent Plus loan. Parent Plus loan can be done and applied to the student's account within 24 to 48 hours, where a private loan can take up to 3 weeks to complete. Wittenberg has a great website to help you narrow down your private loan options. But you can always do your own research or check with local banks or credit unions. I do know that if you do belong to credit unions, a lot of times they can give you the best interest rate out there on a student education loan. Our Fast Choice website can be found at wittenberg.edu/private loan. This link tells you everything you need to know about our lenders. We do have several lenders that we accept. However, you can go outside that box if you find something better. And if you find something better than what we're already showing, please let me know so I can add them to our list, because I'm always looking out for you parents and students when it comes to the cost of education. You're basically, to apply for the loan, you just follow the steps from the lender on completing the loan documentation. Normally, the student begins the loan documentation and then the parent or co-signer takes over. Anybody can be a co-signer on the loan as long as they have decent credit. They don't even have to be related to the student to be a co-signer. You request the loan for the entire year, which is recommended, or if you choose, you can go per semester, and that basically the amount of the loan would be based off of your billing statement. Once the loan is completed, I'll get notified that it needs to be certified. It's an online process that happens, and usually after the loan is certified, it is a good week to week and a half before the money is dispersed, sometimes longer depending on the lender. And lastly, for private loan process, there are a lot of, you will get lots and lots of communication from that private loan. Because of the truth in lending requirements, you'll receive multiple disclosure notifications to which you need to respond before the loan is dispersed. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so questions really quick. Let's look at my questions here. Okay, I'm going to go all the way up to Tammy this morning. Asked, if you end up getting a student or parent loan for that 1 year, is there a point to doing splitting up payments? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Tammy. Are you thinking you want to make payments to the university and do a loan, which we do have happen? So I'm not quite sure what that's about, Tammy. You may need to email me separately, which at the end of this PowerPoint, my email address will be there and I can respond that way as well. Yes, a PowerPoint will be available for everybody. Okay, Katie is asking, do you have to apply for the Parent Plus loan every year, or is this a one-time application? Parent Plus loan needs to be applied for every single year. Same with a private loan. They will not let you take out a huge loan to cover all 4 years of school. I would never suggest that anyways. Being as, you just never know. That first year as a freshman student is hard. That first year is hard. And, you just never know where the student's going to end up. So yes, Katie, apply every year for the Parent Plus loan or a private student loan. Okay, now Sarah is saying, it's my understanding that you will need to reapply every year. Yes, Sarah, that's correct. Good. Okay, so we're going to move on because we actually are just about done, which is crazy. Hey, look, I am done. Yay. Okay, so it is time for questions. And Tammy, this is all of my contact information, so feel free to email me. I am available by phone Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you guys need an after 5 p.m. phone call, please just let me know because I can definitely make arrangements to accommodate you. Is there a payment plan if you do self-pay? Yes, there is a payment plan if you do self-pay. You will, we use Nelnet, and that payment plan information is going to be coming out to families. Usually it hits families' emails and mail, like actual mail, mid-May. So that you can get prepared to sign up. There's also information about our payment plan process during the orientations that we're going to be having in June. You will work with student accounts. So any questions about payment plans, I am going to type in the student account email. You will email student accounts at wittenberg.edu for any payment plan questions. I know basics when it comes to the payment plans. So you're also welcome to email me, but if it's a little bit more extensive, definitely go to student accounts. Tanya, is there a time limit on applying for the loans? We're still waiting on replies from several scholarships. Oh, no, 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 there's no time limit. Basically, our billing is going to begin in July. Okay, so that first billing statement that comes out is going to be for fall semester. I would say as long as you have your loan situation figured out before your students are on campus, that is ideal. So that gives you to about the beginning of August to figure things out. If the bill in July is not paid on time, your student will not be kicked out of Wittenberg. I promise you that. We have not done that ever. But we do we would like things to be settled for the students before they move on to campus. It just makes their process a little bit less stressful, the parents' process a little less stressful. Everyone is then happy. Okay, so the next question would be about the deposit needing to be paid by May 1st is our deposit deadline. It is $400. If the students, okay, Tammy asks if the students do get scholarships, what is the process of telling you? Oh, okay. Well, we have a reporting system on our website to report outside scholarships. It's an online form right now that the students fill out, and we get an email that tells us they're getting a scholarship. So the best way to, let me see if I can put the link in here for that. My easiest way, honestly, is to go to wittenberg.edu and just search because I cannot remember where anything is on our website. Okay, so this right here is our outside scholarship notification. Basically, the student puts their name in, address, email address, where the scholarship is coming from, and then how much the scholarship is. So for instance, if it's $1,000 scholarship, you can split it 500 fall, 500 spring, or you can put the whole $1,000 on fall. However you guys do this, and then say submit, that's how we put it on the student's account. So let me see if I can add this to the chat. Okay, so that went directly to Nancy for some reason. I'm so sorry, Nancy. I'm going to send that to everybody. There. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question about scholarships. Everyone must take the unsubsidized loan first. Well, if that's the only loan that your student is offered, Matthew, I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. If your student is offered a sub loan and an unsub loan, you can choose which one you want to take first. You may need to email me or call me later this week to see if we can answer your question a little bit better. I'm not quite sure what you are meaning by that. So I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint so you can see my contact information, Matt, and then you can maybe send me an email. Okay, Ashworth, what if a student has not decided by May 1st and the enrollment fee is not paid? Does the student lose their acceptance at that point in time? Sarah, would you like to take over on that question?
Yeah, so it's my understanding that we will still accept your deposit. Students will deposit up until the first day of class, but you don't lose your acceptance. You are also able to defer your acceptance if you're taking a gap year or something like that is happening. So just understand that there's a couple ways that you can defer, but if you miss that May 1st deadline, you are not lost. We're happy to help you make that decision. May 1st is just the national deposit deadline, and so that's really important, and it's a good goal because as you wait longer, we have some checklist items for our deposited students to complete, and that will all begin in May. So that's what we do, and your student might have to catch up if they wait too long. on some of those checklists to get ready to go for coming in the fall. So
that's true.
mhm.
And we have had students deposit the first day of classes, so that is not anything that has not happened here before. Okay, Matthew asks again, will there be help with scholarships after freshman year for students to get help with applying? If you're talking about outside scholarships, yes, I can direct them to many websites. I always tell the student to check locally where they live, first of all, even if they are a sophomore in college, to check locally. A lot of the foundations there still give outside scholarships to college kids. Actually, there is a lot of money out there for college kids as far as outside scholarship goes. If you're talking about their scholarships, their merit scholarships they're offered and stuff like that, I'm I'm definitely available to help file FAFSAs or anything like that. And as long as your student has maintained a 2.0 GPA and has maintained full-time status, their scholarships will renew every year as far as their merit scholarship goes. I hope that answers your question, Matthew. We're still waiting on our acceptance, hoping to hear soon. My son waited to apply. Okay, good. Usually it's pretty quick once they have been accepted. And as long as your student has filed FAFSA and we have it, normally the process to get a financial aid award isn't too far behind that. Brianne, if you want to email me, I can check to verify that we do have your student's FAFSA on file on Monday when I get back to work. You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions? Does anybody want to? There we go. There's another one. Great. Okay, Tammy, when they look at credit scores, do they look more at scores or if you have paid on time and there are no missing payments? Okay, so this is kind of a loaded question. The two different loans we talked about for parents, Parent Plus loan or a private student loan where you have to co-sign, they do look at things a little differently. Honestly, for the Parent Plus loan, as long as you don't have anything too damaging on your credit report and you have a score that is fair or better, you're going to more than likely get approved for the Parent Plus loan. The Parent Plus loan doesn't dig too deep into your credit. If you're co-signing a private student loan, this gets a little bit tricky because a lot of times they do look at the debt to income ratio and things like that on the private loan side. So there may be a parent that gets approved the Parent Plus loan, but will get denied as a co-signer just because of years and years of paying on debt. So I hope that answered your question. I know there's a lot of information when it comes to these student loans, but I am here to answer any questions. So again, all of you are welcome to call me or welcome to email me. Good things like that. We'll hang on just another minute in case anybody has any other questions. Okay. Is it possible that a student will not receive financial aid for the entire tuition? Yeah, it's possible, especially here at Wittenberg. Wittenberg is a high cost school. If your student normally receives financial aid, and when we talk financial aid, I'm talking like your student is able to receive the federal Pell Grant and the Ohio State grant, or, you know, there's another federal grant out there called the Supplemental Opportunity Grant. So if that happens and your student is at a lower cost institution, it's possible they could have zero money due out of pocket between their financial aid and their loans and all of that good stuff. So at Wittenberg, though, you more than likely will still have an out-of-pocket cost if your student is receiving full financial aid. I hope that helps. Okay, since a parent plus loan does not get transferred to the student, do you know what parents of graduated students will do in order to have this be the student's responsibility? So again, the only thing that I know of that has been done is basically the student pays the parent to help make those payments, because there's no way to get that into your student's name. So I guess it would just be a situation that you guys would work that out together. You're welcome, Colton and Ashworth. You're very welcome. Okay, well, I don't want to cut anybody off. So last chance for questions. You guys have had some good ones. All right, fantastic. Well, thank you, everybody. It's been fun. And oh, Tammy has one more. So you can have 4 loans by the end of this, since you do this every year. Yes, Tammy, that is true. You can have 4 loans. And they may be smaller and smaller every year because, again, your student loans do increase by $1,000 pretty much every year, except for junior and senior, they stay the same at $7,500. And if your student is lucky enough to get some outside scholarships every year, I mean, please tell them to apply every single year that they're here at Wittenberg. Have them apply for outside scholarships, even if it's 1 a month. Applying for an outside scholarship is kind of a part-time job. I'm not even going to lie. You need to really have a decent essay, have some decent letters of recommendations to send in for these outside scholarships. They are out there. There is a lot of money out there, but they are competing with every other college student as well. Is this a tax write-off anyway for us if we pay for student loans? Well, I mean, you may be able to use the interest on the taxes. I am not an accountant, so I cannot help you with that. I would definitely talk to your accountant when it comes to that. You will receive a 1098-T form for your student every year that can be used on taxes. I am a parent of a student here at Wittenberg, and I use it on mine, and it helps with because they no longer get that child tax credit. So it kind of works like a child tax credit. And anything else that you, any other qualified expense that you use to help pay for your student, if they need a laptop, those kind of things can be used in that 1098-T form. So, but again, talk to your accountant. I am not an accountant. I do my taxes myself, but I am not qualified to give anyone else advice for that.